Well, this is Mark Washington from MTC Media. Taking a look at George Mason's program as they're currently on a four-game losing streak here, sitting at 4-4, four straight wins: Stony Brook, Penn, Morgan State, Maryland, and then after that Maryland game, four straight losses: James Madison, and then three neutral site losses: Washington, Nevada, and South Dakota State. And you might ask, what is the difference? And I still feel like the difference has been defensively. George Mason just has not been as good on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think they're getting the stops when they need it, and they're allowing their opponents to get 2 feet in the paint. And we saw that way too much in the Washington loss. We saw it way too much in the South Dakota State loss. With that being said, 3 of the 4 losses were by 3, by 3, by 4. So if you want to be the glass half full guy, you will say, look, George Mason played 4 games that they would love to forget. Yet in 3 of those 4, they were in it to the end. They certainly had the lead at Madison, and I don't want to say they certainly should have beaten Madison, but they had the lead down with less than a minute left against Madison. They had chances down the stretch against Washington and against South Dakota State. Washington's case, in the second half, they were kind of undone by Washington's ability, offensive rebound, and South Dakota State. It was an execution thing. It really looked like for a second that George Mason was going to pull that out. That was a great game by Schwartz. He had 29 in the win over South Dakota State. But I asked after that game, just where's the program? I asked Kim English after the game, where was the program and where he felt. And he still feels like it's in a good place. He did speak about George Mason not getting rewarded with whistles. And I will say this, being a coach myself, I don't like box score barons. They're the people who look at the box score and then they want to draw all of these conclusions. So to me, lazy argument is, well, George Mason shoots all these threes. How many free throws do they think they should get? A lot of their threes comes off penetration, some in transition. You can't simply look at the number of threes with them and then try to surmise, well, the reason why they're not making it to the line is because they're not being aggressive off the bounce or they're not throwing the ball in the post. George Mason throws the ball in the post all the time to Josh Aduro. I mean, almost more than any other team now, not more than a team like Gonzaga, but they throw the ball in the post all the time. They take everything downhill out on the perimeter. I do agree with Kim English there. I do think that they're not being rewarded with a whistle. I don't know why. Is it because English is a first-year head coach and doesn't have the reputation of rapport, or whatever the case may be with referees? I don't know why, but English does have a point on the lack of foul calls that George Mason gets when they're playing. Yet their opponent, every time they touch him, their opponent is being rewarded. So, looking ahead, George Mason played a lot of games. Their first 8 games happened in a 15-day window. They finally get a break. Last time they played was November 24th, which was right before Thanksgiving. They don't play again until this Saturday against Old Dominion. That gives Kim English a week and a half breaking down film, working and concentrating on the things that he feels like that they need to show up on. Probably some guys have some dings and stuff that will allow them to get healthy. So I can see that George Mason will probably come out and look like George Mason did those first 4 games. To be honest with you, I think they wore down, especially after the win over Maryland. They only had a day off. They go to James Madison. After James Madison, they have to go all the way out to South Dakota. And they look like a tired team. I expect with this little break and having Old Dominion at home on Saturday and then having Navy at home next Tuesday, I think we're going to see more of the George Mason team that we saw in the first 4 games. Speaking of the Old Dominion game, that would probably be the next time you will see me at George Mason, as that's their next home game. And we'll have pregame from there, a little pregame preview from the arena from there. But right now, again, the Patriots are 4-4. They hit the court next this upcoming Saturday against Old Dominion, an old rival here in state from many years. It's great to see that they're playing the Monarchs, and we'll see. We'll see if they have that pep in that step. We'll see if they can get to the free throw line. And being at home, I'm sure they're going to shoot the dickens out the ball. Okay? This is Marcus Washington from MTC Media.